Oh, we're live.
Hi, Winning Women. Welcome to our one-off lunchtime special with the amazing Amanda Fitgerald, who's our Essex PR lady. And just to introduce you, Amanda, I did something called the Essex Business Women's Experience back in 2015, 16 and 17. And Amanda was the person who helped us get in the press. And you got us on BBC Essex, didn't you? And
you spoke live at the event. Do you remember, on BBC Essex?
We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the newspaper. What's your local one? Oh, I've lost you.
We were in the Echo and we had an article about the vineyard that I'd rented a row in. So we had 240 bottles of our own branded wine, didn't we?
That's it,
That was presented to us as buy a vineyard for your business. So, of course, I did for a year.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So tell us about you and what you've got to offer us today.
So I am known. You can't actually see it. I need to change. It says I've got a very long name, so you can't see what I'm actually called. I'm called the Ultimate Door Opener because I help people knock down the doors to places they've only dreamed of getting into. So I mean, it all started off because I used to sell knitwear. No, I wasn't selling knitwear, was I? With you when I first met you, was I selling knit? No. Okay. God, no, I feel like
you're well into PR by then.
Okay, so I was selling knitwear, and I used to do stalls and pop-up shops, rather like your event when we first met. And I got so much press coverage that I was asked by other people to help them with their press coverage, and I've actually totally pivoted to use the new trendy word, which has now been discovered since lockdown. So I've pivoted to help mainly female entrepreneurs get themselves into the press, which I've done very successfully. And I think there are a few Essex ladies I've helped in the past, which is brilliant. So here's to helping a few more of you. But what I've got a very special offer because I'm doing it's called the Profitable PR Challenge. It's a 5-day challenge. And it doesn't mean to say you need to leave your house. It doesn't mean to say you're going to have to do an MBA in PR. It's literally 20 to 30 minutes of your time a day to do a task. And then you end up walking away with loads of knowledge and confidence on pitching to the press. Because I've done a survey to all the past attendees and the people who are currently, registering to come on. Now, I'm going to test you then, Rosemary. What do you reckon? There are 3 key things preventing people from getting into the press. So let me know what you think they might be, and I'll tell you what they are.
Ooh, not knowing where to start.
Oh, that's number 1. That is 52%. So you're going to get, so far, 10 out of 10. Well done.
So not knowing where to start, just confidence.
Oh, excuse me, have you filled out the bloody survey? Yep.
No, it's me. You're talking about me. And the other one is, well, what would I talk about? I'm not that interesting, I think.
Oh, that is, no. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, that isn't one. Okay.
But
excuse me, sorry.
You've got the press calling you. So know-how, and I put the not knowing what to say about myself. I also lump that into the know-how because it's kind of the same area. Then 32% say they have imposter syndrome or confidence, or you just don't want to do it. And then there's a third preventer from getting people to do their own PR, not to pay an agency. What do you reckon the third preventer is? We've done very well so far.
Money?
Oh, yeah.
Time.
Actually, yeah, time. Because people don't know how to fit it into their agendas and their schedules. So, yeah, just knowing where to start. And that's why, we're here, so I can give you, the first leg up. And then the second leg up will be if you want to join my Profitable PR Challenge. But knowing where to start, yeah.
Yeah, and that's interesting, isn't it? Because when we started working together, which would have been about 2015, 16, we had nowhere near as much access to social media, did we? Nowhere near. And I think PR was a more obvious option even. And when I started my business, 93, and for the following probably decade, we had the yellow pages. And if you could get in the press, you did. And it used to be one of my things. I'd advertise in the press. I'd be working in a clinic, a holistic clinic, and we'd take an advert out, sometimes on the front page, and we'd split the cost between us. Yeah. And then I'd end up in different articles. And we actually employed, one of the suggestions when I worked in a clinic was we clubbed together and we employed a PR guy.
Oh, wow. Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've kind of done it years and years and years ago. But I think nowadays, social media has really come on. I mean, my knitwear business, I started that I think I joined Twitter in 2007, and it was very much in its infancy, but now everybody's doing it, and there is so much noise, and people are actually forgetting the key thing, which you did back in 1993, of getting into the press, because it works. People are so worried, and oh my God, I've got to do my Insta stories, I've got to do this, I've got to go on LinkedIn, I've got to go everywhere, but actually, getting yourself read about and published is so good. I mean, it gives you, I talk about the 3 C's. It gives you the confidence, which is one of the key things. It gives you clients. I'm not guaranteeing every single time you get into the press that you get new clients, but when I was selling my knitwear, I would literally get orders coming in, and and also you get opt-ins to your website. But also a really important thing, and I think it kind of goes into the confidence piece, it's actually credibility. So you've been written about, so you carried adverts, so you're paying, but then it sounds like you were invited by journalists to speak when you were doing your business.
Yeah,
credibility.
I've got a whole catalogue of them at press cuttings from, over a decade, particularly. And I remember when my friend started her massage business, she got an article about her, and she got something like 40 people contact her. And some of them she passed on to me, and I'm still in touch with them now. So it was really, and that would be my next question. So local press, how does it work these days? Do they automatically put everything online that goes in the paper, or does that vary?
I think it kind of varies, but it is a good thing to try and get your local press, because we're actually doing a push I've got a PR membership, and this month, as you know, actually, because you're in it, aren't you? Anyway, so we're doing a push, but if you get into the local paper, they do, most publications tend to carry that. However, I did have a client who got into her local Rutland and Stamford, or whatever it's called, Mercury, and we couldn't find the press we couldn't find it online anywhere. So she just literally had the newspaper. She had a huge piece about it, which is brilliant. And I do need to tell you this one thing. If you do succeed in getting press coverage locally or nationally, only share the links, okay? You're not allowed to share screenshots, because it's a breach of right. So it's quite, which means the best thing is if you get the links, if your piece does actually go ahead and get into online, then you can share the link with your public, with your community, and all the rest of it. And then the lovely picture comes up anyway. So so it doesn't really matter. But and then also it's easier to share on Twitter and LinkedIn and just say, hey, woohoo! I'm so excited to be featured in the Sun or the X, or whatever, Mercury is relevant, or the Gazette or whatever. So
if you're in a physical paper, can you take a photograph of that and share it legally?
Unfortunately, unless you have the publisher's written permission, or you have bought a license, you can only share a link. So if it's in the physical paper, you can't do anything about, and they haven't got any links on their website, you just literally say, I'm so excited today to be featured in Take a Break magazine. It's really annoying. And I was doing an August roundup of all my client successes, and there've been so many, and it was just too linky. It was just awful. It was like a really long email because there's so many successes. It was just one link after the other, and it's like, okay, so I need to redo how I share people's successes. But the minute you're in the press, you've got to share the links and say, oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
So my thought here is, because I'm in your group and I haven't done a lot with it because my focus has been on other places, but if anyone else in the group wants to get together and do this as a group thing, we could have a thread, couldn't we? And
absolutely. I mean, so I'm doing my AMA Ask Me Anything in the group today at 3. But if you've got any queries about getting into the press, because you see, I'm promoting this Profitable PR Challenge, so I'm walking the talk. So I literally called up, and I'm not going to lie, I also thought, oh, shall I, shan't I? You know what I mean? So I teach the confidence, then I've got to bloody walk the talk. So I called up BBC Essex, and I spoke to a producer, and he said, that sounds really interesting. Have you got a pitch, or have you got what they say is, have you got any information about it? And I'd already written it, and I gave a live today talking about being prepared whenever you call up anybody or listening to the radio, and there might be a story which is really relevant to your field. what you have to do is you have to have something ready, and so you can top and tail it. So Rosemary, you could have your I'm a here's a very short background, my 3 bullet points, like industry statistics say 99% of women fear to network. Whatever the thing you're promoting or whatever you're talking on. And you've got it ready written, and so when something happens, you can top and tail it with "Dear so-and-so, loved your feature on X, Y, and Z." And then at the bottom, would this be of relevance? Or here's my link to the registration page or whatever. So you've got something prepared.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
wonderful.
So it's planning. Yeah.
So if somebody wants to join your challenge, where do we go, Amanda?
So yeah, let me grab what should I do? Because it's a bit of a they can either go to my website, which is amandapr.com. Can I share it in this chat?
I'll do it for you.
Well, yeah.
amandapr.com. Okay.
Yeah, or I've just put in the private chat. You'll see it's a rather long, convoluted registration. Yeah, because on the pr.com, you'll see literally it says join the registration, join the challenge. But I've just put it into private chat. It's a direct link if anybody wants to join.
Lovely. So pop it in afterwards. And
thank you.
Yeah. So tell us a bit more about angles, what they might be interested in, because I know I get into my head a bit about these things sometimes, and sometimes it seems obvious, but you have an ability to look at something. Yeah. Or for instance, winning women, what do you think in the group or even as a group might be interesting to the press?
Yeah, so how many members do you have?
Online 1900 now.
Okay. And are they all, I presume, all Essex based?
Not anymore, no. No, gosh, we've moved beyond. We've got people.
That's why it's called winning women. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got people in there who have used to be in Essex, grown up in Essex, and now in Norway or New Zealand or where's the other lady? Emma Nichols has used to be in Southend. She's now got a retreat in France near the Spanish border.
At that point, these people who have moved away, they can also try to get local press coverage in Essex. So I'm not from Essex. So I'm proving that I am now living in Essex. I wear my lovely leopard skin. That's everywhere is Essex. I'm addicted. Since I've been living here, I'm addicted to leopard print. Anyway, I'm not from Essex, but I'm from Worcester. So when I was running my knitwear business, I managed to get into the local press. And because people like local girl done good stories, okay? So somebody from South Africa or France or wherever, they can always pitch to the press if you've got something which is relevant or might be interesting. So in terms of angles, which you asked me, and you said angles for the group, I mean, really, is it made up of coaches? What's the majority of people in winning women?
It's just across the board. We've got people making their own jewellery, making children's clothes, lots of artists. Mm-hmm. You know what women are like at the moment. We've got ladies who are growing flowers in their own garden and selling them and doing weddings from growing their own flowers. And the ingenuity is incredible. There was a lady yesterday who's Leah Matthews, who's had a bit of a spiritual awakening, and she's created her own planner, including moon cycles, business planner, including moon cycles, because they affect how we write. Now, if you're writing as you're coming up to your time, you're less likely to be creative than you are after it. And I learned this afterwards because I used to get so in my head about doing things, and then somebody told me that if I was writing at a different time in my moon cycle, it would probably be a lot easier. So that's what she's created. I mean, these women are just phenomenal.
So for the angle there, I've got a client who's a manifestation expert, and she was asked about moon and manifestation during the moon, during the full moon and everything. So that lady, I don't know what her name is, but she needs to be pitching 15 days in advance of the full moon. Or but you said it's moon cycle. Is that all to do with menstruating?
Yeah.
What about if you've had a menopause like me and I don't have one? Am I no longer creative?
Well, no, we're the same. I'm the same, Amanda. I'm postmenopausal, and it's exactly the same. You don't.
How do you know when your cycle is? You're not having a cycle. Anyway,
then you look at the moon. You literally follow the moon cycle.
Ooh.
So there's sort of the waxing and waning affects our energy and our creativity. And
I love that.
if you talk to anyone who's in the ambulance service or works in A&E or somewhere like that, they tend to get more people coming in and having bipolar episodes and things like this when there's a full moon. And I remember when we held our event that you came to, Samjana Moon, the lady who pointed out to me about my cycles, why I probably was so in my head or just couldn't be creative at certain times.
Yeah.
And she said, we had our event actually on the day of the full moon in 2016. And it was so successful. We had so many people coming in. And she said, if you're having an event and you can actually have it round at the time of the full moon, people are more expansive because it's full moon. Yeah. Whereas in the waning moon, it tends to be more kind of going inside. A bit like when you're coming up to your period and you've got your period, it tends to be more contemplative, going inside. And then when people come out and their ovaries start buzzing again and things start waking up again in that phase, then
it shows us what natural beings we are, doesn't it? Like, even though we all have iPhones and computers, we are still literally cave women.
And that is all coming back now. We probably, in Winning Women, there's probably at least 10 or 15 women who specialise in menopause.
Really?
And we've got at least 5 children's book authors in Winning Women.
Yeah.
At least 5. And
well, that's amazing. So with the moon topic, and that woman who's done the book, it's a really good one. The planner. That's a really good, potentially could be an interesting angle for the press, for features, or to get into the shopping pages. If you run your own business, is it specifically for entrepreneurs or is it for women who work in corporate?
It could be for anyone. It's just, got you put your intentions in it, you could put your affirmations in it, all that stuff.
Yeah, brilliant. So what you're doing is you need, and then you talked about, so it's basically finding angles. So is it a new book launch? That's great. Is it to do with full moon? Then you've got one happening every single month, so you can always be pitching, but obviously not on the full moon, but 4 weeks before it. Then you talked about the flowers, the woman who grows flowers in her garden. Now I've just gone to buy my son some folders for his GCSE, some folders. The cabinets are bare in Wilko's, all right? And it's because of Brexit, the lack of lorry drivers and all the rest of it. So I don't know whether the lady who's growing the flowers, this could be, because I couldn't find any flowers in my supermarket or my local florist. I'm now growing them here, so you can have homegrown Essex flowers. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of finding angles which are relevant to what is going on. They're talking about empty shelves all the time. So how many women do you have there who are producing stuff? That could be a collective. What you need to do is perhaps, you said about the whole group. How many people are there producing products which are available and made literally in the UK, literally made in Essex, or made in the UK, that are fulfilling because people are needing to buy them now because they're no longer available in the mass superstores. So you can say this group as a collective has so many, not got any flowers, go here. Not got books, go here. Not got this, children's books, they're all out, they're all still on containers in, bobbing over the sea from China, and the lorry drivers, they're going to be caught in Felixstowe port, blah, think outside of the box as to how you, Rosemary, you could pitch your amazing group of women, because you'll have categories, won't you? You'll have the menopause experts, you'll have these experts. Just say this group is laden with expertise and and products, like that perhaps.
And we may even have someone in the group who still writes for the local paper. It hasn't been on my radar for a little while, but we quite often someone will pop up in the group who says, actually,
that's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So, you just need to do a bit of a shout out to everybody, like you've got 1,900 women, to say, Brexit's hitting, empty shelves are here. What do you produce? Which is available locally, because we can't get it from our supermarkets anymore. It's that kind of thing. And then you, Rosemary, would write a little pitch or a press release to your local press. Don't know which one it is, Southend Standard, or whatever your newspaper is called. Call up the local radio, and then they'll say, okay, well, that's lovely, Rosemary, you're the head honcho, so we'll invite you to speak. Can you also get 3 other women, the flower seller, the book, the author, and the honey maker, and we want to interview them on the radio. It could be a nice piece for them, because they're all okay. So this is another thing you need to remember. Press are constantly having to think about angles. We need to think of angles, and they need to think of angles. And if you feed them an angle that's already ready, cooked, oven ready, the awful Boris Johnson, but, it's an oven ready pitch because you've got the people listed.
Brilliant. Yeah, I did your challenge before Christmas, and it was brilliant. I have to say, I think I just. I would say, ladies, if you're going to do it, give yourself some time and some brain space for it as well, because it does take that, doesn't it?
Yeah, to be fair, I think the challenge I ran before Christmas was quite an intensive one. I've cut them down, the tasks, so they literally take 20 to 30 minutes a day, and then in the afternoon, in the evening at 7:30, I do a Facebook Live. And I answer the questions that people have put in, because we do so the format is 6 a.m. If you're an early riser, you can get on your challenge right away. So that's number one, the task, because it's then posted in the group, and then you have 30 minutes to do. So just set aside 30 minutes. Then at 3 o'clock, we put in the Ask Me Anything. So you can ask me a question, which I will then answer in the live at 7:30 in the evening. And that's how we run it. Whole of thing. And so many people have gone from 0 confidence or 1 confidence to 9 confidence in pitching to the press. But you do need to work out how you're going to get your timing, so you don't do something amazing and then you never actually action it.
Sure. What are you going to cover during the week? Give us an idea what people will get.
So what we're covering during the week, well, one of the days, I'm not going to tell you which day, because you'll only join it for that day, you get the email pitch template. That is gold. Then we also cover off angles, pitches, where to find the journalists. I give you some great tips, really good tools and tricks on how to find the journalists, and also how you know who to target, which publications to target. So that's a bit of a summary of what we're going to be covering.
Fantastic. And it starts on Monday, does it?
No, actually the 20th. So you've got another 18, I think it's 18 days to go, yeah.
20th, right. No, it's the 9th today.
Oh, is it? Got my calendar.
Yeah, it disappeared, hasn't it? It's the 11th.
Is it?
Oh, no, it's the 8th today. Might be the 8th today.
Yeah, so let me just press return here. Hang on a sec. 11 days. In 11 days, that is when it starts. So
brilliant.
In it to win it is all I can say. Winning women, be in it to win it.
Wonderful. Okay, so we'll put that in the group. Can I invite you to pop in maybe put it in our Free for All Friday post as well?
Yeah, sure.
For the next 2 Fridays.
Yeah.
And is there anything people...
As you're part of the group of the PR Club, try and do your local press pitch, because that's what we're meant to be doing for the month of September. So maybe you can get winning women into the press.
Well, I want to get going on that before the 20th anyway, but I'll definitely sign up for then. And is there anything the ladies can do to start kind of getting ready, apart from helping me with something to post in the group? Because I'll put a post in and get some ideas flowing probably today. Yeah.
So any ideas what for them?
Yes. Is there something they can do to sort of prepare for the challenge?
I was writing out in preparation for our chat just now, and it's all about the P's. So number 1, mindset, and I know you're key on mindset, aren't you, Rosemary? Mm-hmm. So it's all about being persistent, or should I say politely persistent? Yeah, I'm going to say politely persistent, and also about being proactive. You can't get into the press if you're just sitting on your bum not doing anything. So you've got to be proactive. So you hear the news, you need to react. Or you think, oh my goodness, it's going to be International Password Day on the 23rd of November, and I'm a GDPR cybersecurity expert. I need to get my pitch ready. So you need to be proactive. Then it's all about the PR toolkit and your pitching. So have your press kit, ready. I've got a lovely one which we have for my members, but basically you need to have just like a 3-liner or 2-sentence bio about who you are. So Amanda Fitgerald, 51, based in Colchester, trains female entrepreneurs how to get into the press so that they can boost their businesses. She used to run an e-commerce business selling alpaca knitwear imported from Peru. I'm remembering what I did yesterday, and she got so many press mentions that friends and colleagues were asking her how to pitch to the press. So she set up a PR consultancy, which she now runs full-time. Boom. That is it. That's my history in a real nutshell. So it's your bio, then your pitching document, which you'll get your hands on if you join my challenge. And then it's a PR plan of action. So you're not going to be randomly going, I want to go everywhere. No, choose 2 or 3 key publications where you want to get into and do that. So
Lovely.
Those are all my P's.
Brilliant. So that's what you'll be guiding people through from the 20th.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So, yeah.
Thank you very much. Good.
Thank you so much for the invite, Rosemary.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. Nice to get you here. It's been on my mind for a while, and I think we'll do another one of our expert interviews with you later on after the challenge and share some more tips.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. And I'll pop something in the group and I'll get back and start working on my PR. It's an interesting one. I think sometimes if you're a bit scattered yourself, which I confess I have been this year, it can be quite challenging to put yourself out there, can't it?
Yeah.
But we can put it off forever as well.
We can put it off forever, but I really want to grab hold of you so you can do it. Because also, if you invest in something, I hate it when people invest and they disappear off the radar.
Mm.
So what I want you to do is, I think maybe the best thing for you right now is to get the ideas from the winning women, and just say to, the members of the press locally that you have got an amazing database right here. And I'd like to invite you to join the group, because they always have call outs. They always need stories. There'll be, all these women will have things to share. Don't forget, getting into the press is all about the human interest element. Oh, and a reason why I'm pitching to the press, so my angle for that, just to give you a bit of background, is, so yes, I'm running a PR challenge. It's a 5-day thing. Okay, so what's my hook? Okay, so people are going back to school. The kids are going back to school. So my hook to the press is, according to the FSB, there's 5.9 million small business owners in the UK. And what I'm doing is I'm helping inspire them, give them some free training. Not all of them. God, I'd love 5 million to join my group. That'd be amazing. But, so my angle is, it's the kids are back at school. I'm going to get business owners back at school so they can learn an essential business skill. So that was my angle for that.
Brilliant. And what did they say about it?
Yeah, so I'm going to follow up when I put the phone down to you, when we've hung up right here. I'm going to chase up Adam, who is the local producer for BBC Essex, and I'm going to say, hey, boy, you said yes. So I'm going to follow it up. He was really nice. And you just have to have nice conversations when you call up the press. Number 1, be polite. Oh, I need to put that one, don't I? Yes. And say, have you got 2 minutes to talk? Generally, when I was pitching to the press for my clients, it would be, I put the phone down, it would be 1 minute 14 or 1 minute 41. So that's why you've got to be super succinct when you're pitching. Not, hello, how are you doing? I just wanted to know whether you've got any time. Oh my God, no, they haven't got time to hear all that bullshit. It's just literally, hi, it's at the news desk. I've got a local news story. Can I just quickly tell you about this? And then you go.
Yeah, we found most of the time they were interested as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because they need stories like ours and yours.
Yeah, brilliant. Good. Thank you. You focused my mind. That's wonderful. Keep in touch in the group, and I'll see you on the 20th. But I will see you before then. I'll go and get on the case.
Yeah, get on the case, and I'll put your stuff inside the PR Mastery, and I can check it out if you want. All right? Because we have a pitch checker.
Good. This is what you get if you work with Amanda, folks. Lovely.
Yeah. Thanks a million, Rose. Really great speaking with you.
You too. Thank you so much. Or put your link in the Facebook as well, the one for the challenge.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Megan. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.